Hello, Holly, Intuitive Life Coach here, and I wanted to share a really important message with you today all around fear, all around stepping up into your greatness, showing the world what you have to offer. So there is nothing more frustrating for me personally, and nothing more frustrating than from what I've heard from women that I've talked to, clients that I've served, than feeling like you're trapped. Feeling like you're claustrophobic, like the walls are caving in. There's nothing in this world that sends me into a spin than feeling like I'm trapped, feeling like I can't get out. There's nothing more frustrating than that. And I know that that's the case for many other women. And we'll step up and we'll speak what's on our mind when we feel like someone's controlling us, when we feel like someone is dictating to us who we should be, how we should behave, what we should think, what we should do in our life. There's nothing more frustrating than that, and we wouldn't let someone else dictate to us all of those things. But I see time and time again with myself personally and with women that I talk to on a day-to-day basis that we do this to ourselves. That one person that we would say no to, that one person that we would say fuck off to, we do it to ourselves all the time. We let our ego trap us. We let our ego dictate to us who we are, how we feel, what we think. We buy into this story that our ego tells us that we're not good enough or we don't have what it takes. And we worry about what people are going to think about us. We worry about what people are going to say about us. We worry about coming off as a fraud or fake or joke. And so we wouldn't let someone else tell us that. But yet we let ourselves tell us that on a day-to-day basis. And we become a prisoner of our own mind. We become a prisoner within our own heart. So why do we do this? Why do we let this happen? Why do we let fear dictate who we are? Why do we allow ourselves to be imprisoned and feel trapped on a day-to-day basis? Why? What's the point? Our mind is a very interesting thing. It's very intelligent. It would have you believe that you could be the female version of Tony Robbins. It would have you believe that you could write a book. And then it turns around and says, no, you can't do that. What are people going to say? What are people going to think? You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You don't have a degree, so why would anyone listen to you talk about psychology? So why do we let our ego dictate our future? And why do we succumb to the fear? Why do we hate the feeling of being trapped, but yet we're so comfortable there? And it was at a time about 3 years ago when I met one of my very first coaches. And I've worked with a lot of people. I've been studying psychology and spirituality for 13 years, and I've worked with a lot of people, a lot of great professionals. And it was a time in my life where I felt really, really trapped. And I remember praying. I remember asking God for guidance. I remember being on my hands and knees and saying, enough is enough. I don't want to live like this anymore. And I prayed and I prayed and I prayed. And I asked for guidance and I asked for support and help and to be shown the way. And this person came into my life at a very pivotal moment. I asked and I received. And it was in that moment of deep fear, of knowing that I was meant for something big, knowing that I was put on this earth to change this world, but feeling so trapped and feeling so scared within my own mind, within my own heart, that I didn't know the next steps. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know, or whatever that it was. I was so fearful. And it was in that moment where my coach turned to me and said, Holly, there are women all over this world on their hands and knees praying for you, just as you were praying for me. There are people all over this world on their hands and knees praying for you, just as you were praying for me. So the sensation of feeling trapped really left me quite quickly in that moment, where I realized that if I was feeling the way that I was feeling at that time, that there were many other people on this planet, in this world, in my own backyard, that were feeling the same things that I was feeling, and I was the only one that was able to support them, to be able to guide them, to be able to share truth with them. And that it was selfish of me to hold my gifts hostage, that it was selfish of me to keep myself trapped in my own mind and in my own heart. And in that moment, I made a decision to show up and be bold, to be brave, and to be what God wanted me to be and do the things that God wanted me to do. And so if you're feeling that same way, I want you to know that if you're praying for change, that change is available to you. You just got to stand up and be bold and ask for it. And then when it shows up, be open to receive it. Take care.